the sucralose that's in the sugar-free options. It can still keep us addicted to that taste of sweet, which means that we're going to crave it more. And it also means that over time, our taste buds adjust. So the more we have it, the more of it we have to have for something to register with the same sweetness. So over time, that may not taste so sweet to us anymore. Oh. And now we're going, I kind of need another pump. Welcome to Salad with a Side of Fries. I'm your host, Jenn, talking wellness and weight loss for real life. We're here to clear up the myths, misinformation, bad science, and marketing to teach you how to eat and how to cheat. Are you ready? I'm having salad with a side of fries. Hey friend, welcome back to another episode of Salad with a Side of Fries. I'm your health coach and host, Jenn, always here with you every week. Back with me today is Min. Min, welcome back.
I'm so excited. Yay.
Yeah. And first of all, last time you were here, we were talking about Ozempic, which was not necessarily your wheelhouse. No. I will say every time friends join me, the topic is not necessarily their wheelhouse because that's not, the point. But this one today is absolutely.
Oh, yeah. For sure.
You are a Starbucks aficionado?
Yep. Sure.
What do you call yourself?
Yeah, no, a Starbucks aficionado. I like that. I was just going to say Starbucks girly, but no, I like that better. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so we're talking all things Starbucks today.
So exciting.
And it's funny. This is one of the questions that I get all the time. And it's really like, how do I make my Starbucks drink healthier? Yes. And this time of year, all things pumpkin spice latte is everywhere.
Yes. I still don't understand why it's everywhere, but again, not my flavor.
Right. So a couple weeks ago for our members, I sent out a healthier homemade pumpkin spice latte recipe. Today's episode is really going to expand on that. Ooh. So we're going to tackle the drinks and the food. I'll try to get to most people's favorites and then give some general rules of thumb for how we can modify.
Ooh, I like this. Awesome.
Okay, great. Super quick before we get into it. For our members, all right, members, I'm sending you 2 recipes this week. Both are fitting for this episode. So the first one fits the season and the episode. So I'm sending you a healthier pumpkin bread recipe so that you can skip the Starbucks pumpkin loaf, make it yourself, all the things. And then your second recipe. So admittedly, I saw this on the internet. I didn't investigate to see if it's true. I'll take the internet's word for it on this one. So the internet said that the bakery item at Starbucks with the most sugar is their coffee cake.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
So it made sense to me too. I was like, fine, I will take your word for it. So I'm sending our members a healthier Starbucks copycat coffee cake.
Oh, yeah.
It's grain-free. You could even make it dairy-free if you wanted or needed. So if you want these recipes, be sure you're a member. Go to glow.fm/salad with a side of fries. For $10 a month, you get weekly recipes, a monthly article or tool, extra discounts from me and our partners, plus access to live Q&A sessions. It really is a total deal. And I say it all the time. It's a steal because with those quarterly live Q&As, you can't beat this. I mean, in one quarter, you're saving more than, the entire year costs you in this membership. Right. Plus, the membership is really a simple way to show yourself that your health is a priority. It allows you to sort of dip your toe in the water of a little extra support. Okay. And your membership supports this podcast and this community so that we can continue to bring you new episodes and experts every single week. Amazing. So remember, all you have to do is head over to glow.fm/salad with a side of fries, or easier, just click the link in the show notes. Once you're there, you click support now. Enter your email and payment method, click subscribe, and you're all set. You'll get this week's recipes for the healthier pumpkin loaf and the healthier Starbucks copycat coffee cake. Say that 10 times fast. All right, so starting with drinks, and then we'll do the food. I feel like the place to start is with the pumpkin spice latte.
Yes, it's a great place to start for this time of year, especially.
For the season. So a regular Starbucks grande pumpkin spice latte has 390 calories. Now, as we know, calories don't tell us. Yeah, your face was like, that's a lot. But calories don't tell us the whole story. In there, we have 14 grams of fat and almost 50 grams of sugar.
Oh my gosh, that's a pumpkin spice latte? Oh.
Yeah.
I don't even want to think about what my drink is.
I mean, well, we're going to do great.
Okay.
I don't know. Admittedly, I will not calculate all the grams of sugars in the fat, but we'll talk about what you typically get and how we might be able to adjust it a little bit. The thing about that pumpkin spice latte is that it's going to differ depending on what kind of milk you get. Right? Interestingly enough, their oat milk is going to have more sugar.
Really?
Than the cow's milk. Their soy milk and almond, right? Because Starbucks doesn't use your basic soy milk either.
I knew that, yes.
Then also, I think those numbers also include the whipped cream and the pumpkin flavor sauce and all the things that they add.
Right, okay.
So super easy right across the top. If we ditch the whipped cream, if we ditch the extra toppings, like just top it with cinnamon powder alone, and you're going to get some of the health benefits. Well, I say that with a grain of salt because sprinkling some cinnamon on your coffee is probably not enough to get the health benefits of coffee. But what's interesting about the cinnamon flavor from like ground cinnamon is that it inherently has a little bit of sweet taste because cinnamon typically comes with those sweeter things. So I don't know how it works, but it's almost like it tricks our brain a little bit. So we can do just plain cinnamon on top. You can adjust your milk choice, and then you can reduce the amount of the syrups and the things that they add. So I can't remember, and it depends on what drink, like what their default is of each flavor syrup that they add. This is part of why I also and I'll ask all these questions to the barista if I don't order in the app because my brain can't remember, but I'll ask them how many pumps do you typically put in a grande? And I'll ask for minimum one less. And you could probably stair step it, do one less and then do two less.
I think there's only 2 pumps in a grande.
I think there's more. If I get a grande with just hazelnut to make hazelnut coffee, I think it's 4.
That is a lot.
In a grande.
And that's a lot. That's a big pump, right?
Yeah, I mean, it is not a small amount of sugar. So, go for the less pumps of the syrup, ditch the extra toppings, and just top it with, the plain cinnamon.
Okay.
The one that you make at home that we sent to the members had you using actual pumpkin puree from a can.
Right.
And making it at home, which would actually be my recommendation if you wanted something that maybe had health benefits. What we're talking about, and that's why I say healthier, because to me, healthy means it's going to create more health versus just being healthier than the alternative. Just for a little comparison, because I had some fun on the internet looking up Starbucks things, Apple Crisp Frappuccino. Also, I might need you to explain what a Frappuccino is.
Frappuccino is an iced coffee, blended iced coffee.
Okay. Apple Crisp flavor, blended iced coffee. 420 calories, 15 grams of fat, 70 grams of carbohydrates with 60 grams of sugar.
It's the sugar that gets to me. And maybe that's obscene amounts of sugar in a drink. Exactly.
And I think that's the piece that most people, right? Especially too, because in New York, I'm curious because you're in Canada. So in the States, it's sort of state by state. If restaurants or food chains have to put the calorie count next to foods, but the calories aren't actually the part of the story that we need to know, right? I'm going to send everybody back. We did a couple episodes of A Calorie is Not a Calorie.
Yes, I remember that episode.
Right? Way back in the beginning of the show. So go back to those. We talked about fat. We talked about protein. We talked about carbs and understanding fiber and sugar. So a calorie is not a calorie, which is why only looking at 390 calories in your pumpkin spice latte or 420 in your Apple Crisp Frappuccino is really not scratching the surface of the piece that's sort of shocking. You would know this better than I do. How often are people having multiple Apple Crisp Frappuccinos a day?
I mean, I actually don't know. But I will say that not so much in the fall because I tend to fall back a little bit on my Starbucks. But in the wintertime when their caramel brulee hits, I will have like 2 to 3 of those a day. And I don't even want to think about what's in that.
I can't even look that up because it's not currently on the menu.
Right. But it's so sugary.
We're going to have to look at it.
It's so sugary.
Yeah.
So I literally am like, if that's what's in a pumpkin spice, and I think the pumpkin spice is pretty sugary. And I have had the apple crisp, and I think that is also sugary. But the drink that I like in the wintertime, like it's much sweeter. Do you know what the recommended amount of sugar a person should be having daily?
Like 30 grams. And to put that in perspective, right? Like, I'm not the biggest fan of the recommended daily intake.
No, of course.
Guidelines. So if that is what's basically saying 30 grams of sugar is sort of our upper limit and your Apple Crisp Frappuccino is like twice that, woof.
Yeah.
It's mind-blowing.
It is mind-blowing.
I mean, this would qualify as candy cake kind of thing, not coffee.
Can we compare it to like a donut? Like how much sugar is in a...
Yeah, hold on. I'm going to pull up the Starbucks website now. I am going to the menu. We are going to look at food, bakery, the glazed donut, 440 calories, 34 grams of sugar, 19 grams of fat.
That's not okay that our drink has more sugar. That's just not okay.
Right. But it puts it in perspective because I think, sometimes people would go and like look at the menu, right? Ignore the pastry case because it's like, okay, we know enough to say no donuts, thank you. Yeah. I'll pass. And then the Apple Crisp Frappuccino does it.
I mean, it's a delicious drink.
Like the glazed donut has half the amount of sugar.
Yeah. Okay, what if you did...
Almost half.
Like, can you customize it? What if you did, like, is there a sugar-free version of that one?
So it depends on what syrups they put in it. I did look up on Amazon the Starbucks sugar-free vanilla syrup. And here's where it's really just about trade-offs, right? Because your sugar-free syrups are really just a bunch of chemicals. So the sugar-free vanilla that, according to Amazon, is what Starbucks uses, is made of water, natural and artificial flavors, maltodextrin, cellulose gum, also known as E466, citric acid, which is E330, sucralose, E955, preservatives of sodium benzoate, E211. I mean, it's a bunch of chemicals. Like, this isn't supporting our health. And there are some people out there who, for them, sucralose is a hard stop, no go. Like, what's the Monopoly phrase? Do not pass go, do not collect $100 or $500, whatever you get. Like, for some people, sucralose is an absolute no, which means your sugar-free options aren't really great for us either.
Not at all.
So I'll jump to this hack. Okay. So when we're thinking about going back to some of our other episodes, when we think about pairing foods, when we think about trying to lower the glycemic impact of higher glycemic foods, the options of what we can add are protein, fiber, and quality fat.
Okay.
So while I'm not recommending that we choose the glazed donut with 34 grams of sugar or the Apple Crisp Frappuccino with 60 grams of sugar, what I am saying is that we could make some adjustments to bring that sugar count down, use a fat from the milk. So maybe we're doing low fat or whole milk.
Okay.
And we're minimizing the number of pumps of the sweetener, the syrups. And then we forego the toppings. So the extra caramel, the extra whipped cream, all those other things. And we can start to chip away at the sugar content, and with the fat from the milk, we can blunt a little bit of the impact. Then if we eat it with a meal that has some protein and fiber, we can sort of start to make some adjustments. But that's not to say that, great, go have this thing every day. And it's certainly not health promoting, but could we take steps to make it a little healthier? Yeah, here's how.
Okay. I'm curious to see what it says on their website about their sweet vanilla cold foam.
So it's interesting. The sweet cream is a better option sometimes because that cream is full fat.
Ooh.
So we're having some fat to blunt the impact of the sugar. It's a vanilla sweet cream. So I believe they use the vanilla syrup. So you can have less of the vanilla syrup than they normally use. And then if you're just doing like, even just adding it to cold brew or adding it to a black coffee, you're better off. The pumpkin cream cold brew, 250 calories, 12 grams of fat, 31 grams of sugar. So actually a lot less than some of the other fall drinks. And yet you can then adjust some of those elements too and bring that down a little bit. Because I think they use pumpkin syrup, so you can have them use less of that. I think they may also put some vanilla in the pumpkin cream cold brew too.
I believe so. Again, pumpkin spice is not my thing, but I get it.
Yeah. I'm not going to lie. The pumpkin cream cold brew was my thing during the pandemic.
Really? That's so odd.
I know. Isn't that interesting? I don't know why. I know. But like you could do 1 pump of the vanilla syrup instead of 2 that's in that one. And then that cream, right, which has the fat, helps blunt some of the impact of that sugar. By the way, the Apple Crisp one uses oat milk.
Ooh.
So if you swapped that for the whole milk,
It would be different.
it would be less sugar probably and a bit of fat to blunt that sugar. I mean, the easiest, I'm hesitating to say this because they also feel a little lame, but the easiest options are to do espresso, Americano, black coffee, simple. Dare I
Jeez,
say it.
Jen. Nobody goes to Starbucks and wants to be a psycho. Gosh.
I know, definitely not why people really go to Starbucks. But if you start with that and then hand pick the add-ins, so sometimes I'll do just an Americano with some hazelnut.
Okay.
Or an Americano or an espresso or whatever, and just some cinnamon powder. And it can give you a lot of that flavor without all the other ads.
Okay.
There's also an interesting thing somebody was saying on the internet. Again, take this with a grain of salt, but it's possible, depending on how you make your coffee, if you're a big cream and sugar person, that sweet cream cold brew might be less cream and sugar than if you made it yourself.
Okay, that makes sense.
I mean, it depends how you make it, but they're doing much more controlled amounts of the cream than any of us would do on our own. And then again, if you're choosing maybe something that's actually cream or a milk that has a little bit of fat in it, and you minimize the number of pumps on your syrups, we can start to balance this out a little.
Okay. I mean, you can buy the syrup from Starbucks. You can buy the big bottles and they'll give you the pump for it. So you can do it. And they'll even tell you the recipe as to what they use to make their sweet cold foam or sweet vanilla. Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
How's this landing?
I don't know. This may not have been the episode that we should have done.
It's a little confronting.
A little bit. I feel a little called out. A little bit.
Other great options that you don't need to think twice about.
Yes.
Okay. I love the iced passion tea, unsweetened.
Yes. Same.
Get it unsweetened. There's so much flavor. And I mean, you could do it hot also, but I love the iced, especially if it's summer. It's not summer anymore, but an afternoon, warm, hot day, whatever, and I want something. The iced passion tea, I think they call it passion tango tea. Delicious. So much flavor. It's a little tart without the sweetener, but you can add some extra ice or add some extra water and kind of balance it out a little bit if it's too tart for you. They have a mint green tea. Great. You don't need to adjust anything. Right. They also do, I think it's a cafe misto, where it's a 1-to-1 ratio of coffee and steamed milk. So super creamy. And again, if you wanted to make it lighter, you could adjust the milk, right? Do a low fat or maybe one of the plant-based milks, but recognize that their plant-based milks probably have more sugar than yours at home. But again, options, right? So, okay, Mint, what is your drink now that we just went through?
Okay, so my normal go-to in the morning, if I really, really want Starbucks, is I will go and get I don't want to say, it's a venti. Where do you say got bad?
I mean, did you hear the episode where we talked about cell phone use and my shameful million hours a day? This is a safe space. Feel free to share.
It's a venti, 2 pumps of sugar-free hazelnut with sweet vanilla cold foam latte. And I usually get them to make it with almond milk.
So it's interesting. Because the sweet vanilla cold foam is vanilla pumps, but we didn't do the sugar-free on those. We just did the sugar-free on the hazelnut, which is fine. We're all full of irony or duality.
I feel like I can balance it out because I'm like, oh, if I get sugar-free on the hazelnut, then it's okay for me to get the sugar and the sweet vanilla cold foam.
Right. And like I said, with a quick note on the chemicals in our sugar-free options, everybody's going to make their own choice, right? You decide what works for you. Whether it's, quote unquote, real sugar or the sucralose that's in the sugar-free options, it can still keep us addicted to that taste of sweet, which means that we're going to crave it more. And it also means that over time, our taste buds adjust. So the more we have it, the more of it we have to have for something to register with the same sweetness. So over time, that may not taste so sweet to us anymore. And now we're going, I kind of need another pump.
Yes.
Have you noticed that?
No, I haven't. But I will say that I make the sweet vanilla cold foam at home. And when they gave me the recipe for sweet vanilla cold foam, I was like, this doesn't taste right. So I'm wondering if it's because, I don't know. So now I have questions.
Yeah.
Sweet vanilla cold foam, is it different at home because they put more vanilla in theirs, or I need to add more to mine? I don't know. But yeah, interesting.
Also, if you bought the sugar-free vanilla to keep at home,
which I did,
and they're using the regular vanilla, it's going to taste different.
Okay, what about their summery drinks, like their refreshers?
So the refreshers are a little bit hit or miss. It's the same things of just managing the sugar factor.
Okay.
So if you can do mix with water to dim something down instead of lemonade, it's going to be a better option. But the refreshers can be great choices.
Okay.
Remind me when we get to summer 2024 and we'll do some summer Starbucks things.
Got it.
Of the drinks that they don't make for you, right? The ones in the prepackaged foods and drinks. We talked about this when we did the green juice nutrition nugget, I think is when we talked about it, or when we talked about smoothies. But skip that green juice that's in their packaged foods container.
It doesn't look very appetizing anyway.
I mean, it's the same thing of tons of sugar, more juice than actual vegetable,
right.
And with any juice, it's giving us, all the sugar and none of the fiber. What we're looking for from our fruits and vegetables is the fiber also. So, all right. I think that does it on the drink piece. Okay. Shall we go to the food part?
The food part will be nicer to me.
All right, really quick.
I don't eat a lot of Starbucks food.
Oh, all right. Less confronting then. Okay, great. Really quick, a message from our partner for this episode. Big thanks to Snap Cleaning Products for supporting Salad with a Side of Fries. Make household and industrial cleaning a snap with their eco-friendly, economical, multi-purpose Snap products. Snap's concentrated multi-purpose formulas perform light to industrial strength jobs all in one bottle. Snap products give you the cleaning power of a variety of cleaners, saving you time, money, and valuable storage space. And Snap products were developed with the environment in mind, using plant-based ingredients that are biodegradable, phosphate-free, non-toxic, and bottled in recyclable containers. So with Halloween and the holidays coming up, Snap might be your new best friend for faster, easier cleaning. So with clothes and costumes, you're going to love the laundry detergent. It cleans in all water temperatures. It's safe for delicates, baby clothes. It's hypoallergenic, dye-free, fragrance-free, works with high-efficiency washers. It's environmentally friendly in the ingredients and the packaging, made with biodegradable, non-toxic, phosphate-free, plant-based surfactants. And again, it's bottled in recyclable plastic. A single bottle can do up to 80 loads of laundry for just $13.95.
Oof.
I know. And it's the same for the fabric softener also. The dishwashing liquid, by the way, makes doing dishes so easy. A couple drops in the pan or the pot, whatever, or even fill the whole sink. Let it soak, and then everything just wipes clean.
Amazing.
Beyond simple cleanup. I mean, my humble opinion, hands down the best thing I've found. And if you want to clean up, no pun intended, all of your household cleaning products, you could do it in one fell swoop with the Snap Pack. It's just $89.95 for the whole spiel. And all these prices are before your 10% off and free shipping because you're a Salad with a Side of Fries listener. So text the word CLEAN, CLEAN, to 844-947-56 4846. You'll receive the link and coupon code right to your phone. Again, simply text the word CLEAN, CLEAN, to 844-947-4846 to try Snap. In particular, I love the triple enzyme laundry detergent and the Snap Pack and also the dishwashing liquid. Okay, I love it all. You get 10% off plus free shipping. This is a toll-free number. Standard text and data rates may apply. Okay, Starbucks food.
Okay.
And snacks. We looked a little bit ago at the donut. I think it's safe to say for most of us that like we can skip the conversation around the donut, the croissant.
Yeah.
Right? And by the way, for all of these, you can go to the Starbucks website, look at the nutrition facts. Now they make it harder. They tell you calories, fat, and sugar or something without clicking for more. But to see the actual ingredients and to see the full nutrition facts, you have to like keep clicking in. So do that though. And then it's reading the labels like we've talked about a million times, right? But going to that, the ones that people always tell me they're like so excited that they have, right? Let's go through a couple of those.
Yeah.
foods.
Okay.
So the first one are the egg white and pepper egg bites. 170 calories, 8 grams of fat,
Okay.
11 grams of carbs, 0 grams of fiber,
Of course.
3 grams of sugar, 12 grams of protein.
That seems like a lot because they're so tiny. And that's for 2 of them? Is that
Well,
like one serving?
It's for 1 serving, which I believe is 2 of them, but that's not even 2 ounces of protein. So it's less than 2 eggs. I mean, give or take, right? If we wanted to be generous, call it 2 eggs. That's a snack size amount of protein. All things considered, it's not such a terrible choice, right? 2 ounces of protein.
Yeah, that's not bad.
You know, okay. What we're missing from that as a proper snack or meal is the fiber and the quality fat. There's 8 grams of fat in this, but it's not necessarily from quality sources of fat. Like it has canola oil in it. In a couple places, it has canola oil, which is interesting. So, you know, could we do better? Sure. If we're in a bind at Starbucks, fine. Right? The thing to remember, like I said, it's not giving us the fiber. It's not giving us some quality fat. And it's only about 2 ounces of protein. So it's not going to last us as long as a proper meal. It's really just a snack. So this is where it gets interesting. And like I always say with all the foods, like we have to read every label of every flavor of something because they're all different. The kale and portobello mushroom egg bites have like multiples the amount of cholesterol compared to the egg white and pepper ones. So I don't understand what they're putting in them. I can't explain it. Only say this to say, look at each of the things for yourself.
Right. Absolutely.
Okay. The other one, actually, this was from somebody posted this on, I think it was on TikTok. This girl works at Starbucks and apparently has a history with disordered eating or an eating disorder. And she made a comment of like, I see your disordered eating when you order your skinny whatever latte and your reduced fat turkey bacon sandwich.
Yeah.
That's not to say that everyone who orders this has a disordered relationship with food.
No, of course not. But I get what you're saying.
But yeah. So let's talk about the reduced fat turkey bacon sandwich for a second. 17 grams of protein in this one. So I like it better, right? We're getting closer to 3 ounces of protein, which is still more of a snack than a meal, but we're getting somewhere. 5 grams of total fat, 230 calories, 28 grams of carbs, of which we have 3 grams of fiber.
Oh.
So we're getting there. I mean, this one obviously has more sodium because you have that turkey bacon.
Yes.
But all in, again, okay.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Right? So let me do one more and then I'm going to give you some
hacks. Let's do that.
Okay. Potentially the better choice in terms of balancing your protein, fat, and carbs is the spinach, feta, and egg white wrap.
Ooh.
So this one is 290 calories, 8 grams of fat, 34 grams of carbs with 3 grams of fiber, and 20 grams of protein.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So again, like we're getting a little closer on the protein front to 3 ounces. Still a snack, but maybe more substantial. There is actually spinach in the ingredients, which is a win.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? Now, there are certainly ingredients in here that if I were making something for myself, I wouldn't make. And if I were buying something at the store and I read this, I probably wouldn't buy it. But we're out and about and we make those choices, right? It's a give and a take. We're going to do what works for us. So absolutely no judgment. Like you do you at Starbucks.
Yeah.
Right? We can up the ante on the protein a little bit by choosing some of these things. Here's a little bit of a hack. The avocado spread.
Ooh.
Okay. The avocado spread, avocado is giving us some quality fat and some fiber. So we can take one of these egg sandwiches or the egg bites and also get the avocado spread and level up the meal a little bit.
All right.
Also adds a bit of flavor, right? And the ingredients on that avocado spread, actually had it this morning. The ingredients on that avocado spread are great.
Okay, that's good.
So yeah, things I would skip other than the baked goods, I'd skip the oatmeal. We've talked about oatmeal
it's not tasty in my opinion.
Right. Another hack, if you're really craving something, doughy or you want that thing, their mini scones could be a great option because they're not overly sweet, but they still hit that sweet taste. And they're sort of, because they're smaller, right? It inherently gives us a little bit of that checks and balances in there. Now, some Starbucks also have Siggy's yogurt.
Yes, they do.
Cup. Great option. Definitely do that. And almost every Starbucks has bananas, like actual bananas. So you could go all in the other direction and get a banana with the Siggy's yogurt.
I've done that.
Or get a banana with your little sandwich or the Siggy's yogurt with your sandwich or egg bites or whatever. And then we're sort of getting from a snack to maybe more closer to a meal. Having said that, if you're getting the Siggy's yogurt and a banana, you could probably find a grocery store anywhere you're finding a Starbucks and buy the same thing for a lot less money.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? I'm just going to flip back over to the menu for a second. Min, anything on the menu side, on the food side of the menu that we should look up?
I mean, we talked about the coffee cake earlier in the episode.
Yes.
So what does that look like at Starbucks? Now I'm curious. I don't actually I've never actually had it, but I couldn't imagine what it would be like by comparison to the drinks.
So the cinnamon coffee cake, 380 calories, 35 grams of sugar, 1 gram of fiber, 57 grams of total carbs, 4 grams of protein.
The sugar. It's not that big of a piece either.
It's always
the sugar is just so much.
Right. I mean, sugar is the second ingredient, and then brown sugar is the third ingredient. It also has soybean oil, which is not my favorite, right? We can do better than that as far as our fat source. There's 15 grams of fat in this, which is a lot for a little coffee cake. But that's not to say, again, first of all, I'm sending our members a copycat recipe that's certainly healthier. If the thing I saw on the internet is true, and this coffee cake is the most sugary thing on their menu, and it has 35 on the food menu part, right? And it has 35 grams of sugar, but we saw drinks that have 60 grams of sugar.
That's a
lot.
You think twice about how you're going to drink your drinks at Starbucks and what you're modifying them with.
Yeah. And that's not to say don't go to Starbucks, right? So maybe this is a good place to sort of wrap things up, right? Key takeaways, thoughts. Where did this leave you after a confronting few minutes?
I mean, I have been wanting to get off of the Starbucks roller coaster for a little bit anyways, a little bit more than I normally do. And I've been getting pretty good, but I definitely think that I'm going to reevaluate what that looks like. And then I'm also curious, I'll be going on the website to see what the creme brulee is like come winter when that drops.
Yeah. Keep your eye on social media. We'll do
exactly.
But I think look up your drink, your go-to, and then just make some small shifts. It doesn't have to be flipping the switch from one extreme to another at all, right? Start by just skipping the additions on top and then step down the pumps of the syrups. Maybe swap your milk choice.
Yeah.
Right? And there's nothing, what I hope everybody walks away with is that there's nothing you can't eat or enjoy, even things at Starbucks. Everything can work it's about making the choices intentionally.
Mm-hmm.
And then my intention is not to give you a reason to beat yourself up. That's not the point at all.
Yeah.
Right? Take everything in stride. And then I guess the last thing is just consider what's occasional.
Mm-hmm. That's exactly what I was thinking.
And what's on the regular.
That's exactly what I was thinking. I was like, maybe it's just too on the regular. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then the inevitable question is, what's occasional?
Yes.
And I often say to somebody, like, if you know the cadence, it's not really occasional.
Exactly.
But stair step it and maybe alternate. Like, try one of the more quote unquote basic coffee options, add the cinnamon powder.
Yeah.
You know, just to see what you notice. How does it taste? How does it satisfy? But 1,000%, like, you do you. I am not here to get between you and your Starbucks, especially for you, Min.
You only say that because I bring them so often to our meetings.
I know. And they're literally on every corner. And it's interesting because we've had this conversation elsewhere, but about food deserts, right? So food deserts used to be not having access to food. Now it's about not having access to fresh food, but there generally are still Starbucks there.
Yeah.
By the way, what I didn't talk about is a lot of their other prepared foods and the snack boxes and those kinds of things. Those are actual foods. So like the salads can be a great option and they all have labels so you can read the labels.
Yes.
You know, the protein box that has like the hard-boiled egg, I'll get that because there's veggies and usually like some apple slices and some cheese. I skip the Justin's peanut butter because it's usually peanut butter with honey or something. It's not just plain peanuts. I typically will skip the crumpet-y whatever loaf thing is in there. And then the hard-boiled egg, I don't do hard-boiled egg yolks, but I'm a big fan of hard-boiled eggs, so I'll do the white part. But like, there are options. There are plenty of options. And like, you want to get the salad? Get the salad. Like, awesome choice there. Okay, cool. So I think we're ready for our nutrition nugget.
Yay.
All right. On Friday, we're talking about Halloween hacks. So this holiday can be a challenge for many people, especially if you're a candy lover, because this is a holiday about the candy. So we're going to get into it. I'll share some holiday hacks, or really Halloween specific hacks. And we also asked people in our Facebook group and elsewhere, if you were a Halloween candy, what would you be? So we're going to give you those answers also on Friday. So to get the reminder, click follow or the plus sign in whatever app you're listening to now. And then the app will remind you when the Nutrition Nugget is available on Friday.
Awesome.
Well, as always, everybody, I'm your host, Jenn Trepick. Connect with me on Instagram or really all social media. I am at Jenn Trepick, JENNTREPECK. Website is asaladwithasideofries.com. That's where you're going to find our merch. Also, send a message on whatever platform works for you. I want to hear your takeaways, your ideas, your questions, especially your holiday questions for our mailbag episode. This is also the easiest way to learn more about working with me as your health coach. Min, thank you again for being here.
This was fun.
I appreciate it. Good. I appreciit it. Confronting and
exactly. Yes.
Of course, friends, if you are not already, join our membership program by going to glow.fm/saladwithasideofries. This shows your support for this community and podcast, but most importantly, it supports your health. You'll get this week's recipes for the healthier pumpkin loaf and the healthier Starbucks copycat coffee cake. So until next week, whether it's Starbucks or anywhere, know that you can find something to nourish yourself and just KMF. Keep moving forward. Well, friends, that's it for today's episode of Salad with a Side of Fries. Congratulations for making yourself and your health a priority. Thanks so much for joining us. Be sure to click subscribe or follow on your favorite podcast platform. Share us with a friend, and we'll be back next week. Always remember, you deserve it, and you are worth it. Happy healthy.